Joan Matei for 2022. And we will have a winner for the previous event, Ishila, who painted a squirting vulva. Did I say that loudly enough? As one of her most amazing pieces that they won with in September 2022. So today we have a completely fresh set of artists. We also have a photo booth at the back for you to get some free guest photographs, which I will upload on our Facebook group after the event. And without further ado, I'm about to do some artist introductions. All right. On easel number 1, way over there, we have Frankie Curtis. But she takes it to the next level. As well as painting canvases, she can paint on almost any surface, decor, home decor, etc. Give it up for Frankie Curtis. On easel number 2, way back over there, is Luke Edgar. Luke is a fantastic tattoo artist, owns his tattoo studio, and he's dabbled with art battle elsewhere in the past. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you anything else because he's a little bit of a mystery, and that's how I want to leave it for tonight. Give it up for Luke. On easel number 3, we have Reeves 1. Reeves is a mural artist, graffiti artist, and he is no stranger to painting to speed. I met with him recently at a mural that he painted in a couple of hours with his colleague, and it was basically a finished realistic piece, giant piece of hands holding more hands and more hands. It was amazing. Can't wait to see what you'll do in 20 minutes. Give it up again for Reeves 1! On easel number 4, we have Zhenya Stoyanova. I think I pronounced your name right? Yeah, I did. So Zhenya is a realistic artist, let's call you that. Portraits, and I'm curious if she's going to use more than one color today. Excited to see what creation she will come up with in 20 minutes. Give it up for Zhenya Stoyanova! So, traveling all the way from Austria just to be here today, we have David Pucker! David's creations are colorful and realistic and vibrant, and they can be on canvas, on handbags, on anything you like, and he is very popular online, I've discovered. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Austria. At least I've discovered that Hannah's boyfriend put her name in the hat. So Hannah, who did not expect to paint tonight and has not painted in some time, has shared a strategy with me. So let's give it up and give her a really big round of applause just to really, really get the experience. Give it up for Hannah Ely! Oh, you're good. You're so good. Okay, so we are now, let's start a little bit early, yeah? So we, here at Art Battle, we love a good countdown. Ready? We start with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, brushes up!
All right, welcome everyone to Art Battle in London. Our artist lineup is absolutely stellar tonight, and these guys are going to have 20 minutes only on the clock to go from blank canvas to incredible masterpiece. We have just started round number 1. I am Morgan Booth, and I'm here with Max Oral, well-known TikToker, voiceover artist, and goth fashion aficionado. Welcome, Max.
Hello, everybody. So fantastic to be here. I absolutely cannot wait to see what these amazing artists create in such a short space of time. And yeah, I'm absolutely ready to go.
Me too. I think I just mentioned, but the artist lineup tonight is absolutely bananas. It is like the quality of the work tonight is going to be absolutely amazing. And Art Battle London is a really strong art community as well. So can't wait to see it. Right now we are looking at David Pusher at easel number 5, and looks like he's going down with some drawing. Now over with Zhenya, and I think that Zhenya is also taking that drawing approach right off of the bat, kind of mapping out what they're doing with the to start off.
Seems like a really good approach. Like, already I'm starting to get excited about the lines and everything that's been put together on the canvas, getting the plans ready. So hopefully we should be seeing some amazing works of art coming to shape in the next couple of minutes.
And I feel like this is gonna go portrait-y. I can't really see right now, just from the lighting in the camera right now, but it's feeling like it's gonna be a portrait, or at least a figure to me.
I would have to agree. From the initial sort of like etchings that are just being placed, I feel like you could be absolutely bang on there.
Moving over to Reeves 1, and Reeves is an artist that I was just way excited for. Reeves is a muralist and has just done so many absolutely incredible, huge illustrative works. And I can't wait to see how he contains that to this canvas.
Absolutely. And immediately you can start to see what he's putting together really starting to come like it's a shape already, which is fascinating to see how somebody can do all of that in such a very quick space of time. I'm very excited by this canvas coming to life in front of us.
And we're definitely getting that kind of stylized illustrative approach already. Reeves starting with a marker. Quite a few of our artists actually in the first few minutes are laying everything out with drawing, but I definitely anticipate that we're going to see more paint being thrown onto the canvas in just a few minutes.
Say, literally speaking of, that would appear to be the approach of the artist currently in front of us.
Yeah, Luke Edgar, this is not surprising to me at all. Luke often works from a dark canvas, or actually he works on metal and then puts oil paint on top of it and kind of etches away at it and paints at the same time. It just blows my mind. So seeing how he's morphing these techniques into the art battle space is really cool.
Absolutely. You can already see the concentration, the effort, how delicate he's being with this. I can really see this being an amazing piece of work, so I'm very excited to see how this forms over the competition.
What is he using? Is it a carving tool, I wonder?
I think it might be. I was either thinking it was looking like some form of like silver, like metallic pen, but I think it actually could be an etching tool.
Either way, I can't wait to move back. But here we are with Frankie Curtis. And Frankie is off to quite the start. Lots of work down on the canvas right now. Very illustrative, and Frankie describes herself as an artist having a doodle style, which definitely we're seeing here.
Oh, absolutely. Already you can see such expression coming from this illustration, and like the hands reaching out the top of the skull, the bright and aggressive but somewhat fun expression on the portrayal of the face. Already off to an amazing flying start.
And the stuff that's coming out of the head, I wonder if that's going to be smaller characters. I feel like we're going to get a lot of drawing within drawing from Frankie here.
Oh, that would be amazing. I was going to say, at first I thought that could potentially hands be reaching out, but I think you could be right. There could be potentially more characters coming out of the canvas.
And here we are with our wild card artist, Hannah. So, fun fact about Art Battle is we like to keep one of the easels open and not fill it with a pre-selected artist. And people can sign up at the door to have their name in the hat to get drawn to paint that very night. So, Hannah was just picked. Had no idea that she was going to be painting, and look at her go.
Oh, absolutely. That's such an amazing opportunity, especially to be involved in such an amazing art battle like this. I really hope that she has a hell of a lot of fun. I hope that she enjoys her time, but already is putting some fantastic work down on the canvas, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far, so hopefully we can be seeing more things take shape.
I feel like this one is reading to me like almost like a typography plus alligator. What do you think?
Very much getting those sorts of vibes. Like, it's just the way that it's starting to form already. The fact that you're linking that to typography as well. It should be really interesting to see how this continues to develop.
And we're only 6 minutes in, too, so there's a lot of space for these pieces to evolve.
Exactly, and that's the one thing which I'm just trying to bear in mind. Even though, like, it's a short space of time, they've already had just, like, hardly any of that time at all. So what we're seeing is just excellent skill, amazing precision and just rapid speed getting these stunning pieces of art like out onto their canvases.
Back with David here, and last time we saw that David was working just in some pencil. We had no idea what was going on the easel yet, and now we have what's definitely looking like a portrait of the Queen to me.
Yep, I was going to say that is definitely looking like a portrait of Liz herself, like already starting to take shape. I'm really loving the angles of it as well, like immediately with the way that it's being drawn. It's such like a unique perspective, especially for drawings of the Queen, which so many amazing artists have tackled over like a long period of time as she was like our former queen.
And I feel like we're gonna get some surrealist elements kind of creeping in here, because we've got like some weird stuff happening with the hat. So I'm thinking that maybe this is gonna be a little bit strange, and I love that.
So I'm absolutely here for anything strange. Strange and me get on like just hand in hand. I'm very excited to see anything just weird and out of the ordinary and expressive. And I think we are definitely going to get this with this artist.
Oh, for sure. And even the treatment of the painting, we've got kind of this illustrative marker-based drawing, and then these more washy colors being laid over top with the paint kind of watered down.
Really such a striking contrast between the colors being laid down and the actual markings themselves, which means that I'm just trying to pay so much attention to how the paint is actually being painted above these markings. It's honestly so fascinating to me.
Yeah, that level of translucence is just bringing so much into the piece. Okay, back with Zhenya, and we're getting these very slow kind of rhythmic movements with some charcoal here, and I'm feeling like this is very performative, and Zhenya actually describes her work as abstract figurative landscapes of her internal world. And I love all of those words together, and I feel like it's gonna lend itself to this just beautiful, strange, emotional piece.
Absolutely, like such a thoroughly unique style that, like, for me personally, I have not really ever been like exposed to. So to see an artist like this at that level with such amazing words to kind of just like describe the breadth of their work, and the fact that we get to see this live is absolutely stunning. The fluidity of the movements as well is something that I've never really experienced before. So very, very excited to see more of this.
Fluidity, that's such a great word to use for Zhenya's work. And can't wait to come back. It's funny because we keep switching artists, and I'm just as stoked for each one that we move on to, but I'm also like, oh, I can't wait to go back to that other one.
I fully agree, but that's one of the amazing things about like this, having such amazing artists that we're so excited about all of their works and what they can produce. Like, especially now that we've like done pretty much like a full cycle, I'm now starting to get really giddy about these pieces of work really coming to form.
Oh, for sure. We're invested now. We're halfway through the round. So actually voting is open now at artbattle.com/AB2407, the link that is on view on the screen, and you guys can vote for your favorite artists. The top 2 artists from each qualifying round will move forward into the third and final showdown. So when you're looking at these works, think about not only who you think did the best piece, but also whose performance you enjoyed the most. Oh my god, is that a tattoo gun?
I think it potentially could be.
I have the venue audio in my ear, and I can hear a little bit of a buzzing, and we can see these short dashes happening.
Yes, especially to form this eerie, almost shadowy figure start to form the expression within the like coming towards the face, but that's being used with a tattoo gun. I've never seen anything quite like that, especially being done in such a short space of time.
This is actually blowing my mind right now. We have this like dark and ethereal face emerging, which is already just wonderful, and that is really able to connect with the audience. But then we have this tool being used that is totally turning the competition on its head.
Oh, absolutely. It's just giving me this air of a beautiful nightmarish, just ethereal being. It's honestly just so stunning to see something like that done live with especially the use of such a unique tool.
It's rare to be speechless, and as an online host, I probably shouldn't be, but right now I totally am.
I think that's exactly the sort of thing when amazing art really does grip you. You do have to sit there and think. I mean, obviously, as broadcasters, that can be incredibly difficult to do. But when a piece can affect you like that and just leave you in awe, I think that's one of the best parts of like appreciating any form of artwork.
For sure. Check out Frankie just bringing this piece together. I really like that Frankie has done all of these illustrative drawings just kind of exploding out from the center, but is now bringing it together compositionally by adding in all of these darker elements within the frame.
Like, especially the darker elements of flame are really sort of helping you sort of like focus and see the little details on the surrounding characters. The more that I look at this canvas, the more that I'm seeing just these tiny little lovely details of like ears, mouths, hands, and I'm starting to understand these surrounding characters just as much as the amazing expression in the middle of the canvas.
Yeah, the level of focus here from Frankie too. And I also want to point out Frankie's super dope sweater. Definitely her own work rocking it on there.
Oh, honestly, I need it. I absolutely need something like that. Like this, that would be something which I would wear with such pride if any time I was leaving the house.
Okay, and back to our wildcard artist, Hannah, who I feel like we're evolving this into a dragon or an alligator, but in any case, it's very stylized, and the marks and the angles and the cleanliness of the application is something that I'm really admiring right now. Very stylized.
I was going to say, especially when we've had so many artists with such intricate details, the fact that like there's such lovely, just simple shapes forming on the canvas to kind of just give this piece so much form. I'm really intrigued by this.
I totally agree. It has a graphic quality that makes it very appealing, and I think it would be something that would hang very well as a piece of art. So also, all of the pieces created tonight are available for silent auction at the link that's on the screen as well.
And just think of that, you could own one of these just thoroughly unique pieces for yourself. I mean, I know for one that I would absolutely would love to have any of these amazing pieces of art anywhere in my home.
I have to often stop myself from participating in the auction because I'm sitting in my studio right now and I'm surrounded by art battle paintings. But it's awesome to collect these pieces because you've seen them being born. You know, you've seen them at each point of their creation, and you have the memory of them coming into being. It's just such a fun thing to decorate with because you're thinking about loving the piece, but also about the memory of you being there.
And that's such an intimate thing as well, to the fact that all the people watching live and all the people watching with us are sharing that journey and will always have different perspectives on what all these amazing pieces mean. So the fact that we are with the artist as they're creating in this really fast-paced environment, really, it's almost, well, not even almost, it is an honor to be able to share that and to have your own perspective within that.
So cool. Look at how great this piece is coming together. We've got all of these super soft blended points of contrast and highlight. And then we also have the sharp line work. There's a lot of visual interest going on here.
Absolutely. Like the way that the paints are so lovely and washed, yet you get this jaggedness from like the edges of the spikes on the hat, from the forms of the expression. It really does, like, it brings the expression so much more forward into your mind's eye with such lovely sharp notes on top of those colors.
And such a great level of detail too. Like we're seeing David working with markers. We're seeing him working with these super small brushes. Just you can tell that David is a really well-practiced artist. And he's actually competed in Art Battle Manchester before as well.
Amazing. I mean, yeah, you can absolutely see that he's just an incredibly capable artist. The level of detail that he must have built over a long art career, you can see just in front of you right now, the level of precision he's achieving is just incredible to look at.
And I like that there's a lot of white space around the drawing as well. Usually I'm not a huge fan of negative space within a painting, but I just feel like he's using it really well. Okay, back with Zhenya, and I love this piece. It's looking like an embrace, but it's also got different body parts moving into a singular body part. The level of a mixed abstraction to figuration is so wonderful.
It's the more that you look at it, the more the embrace almost kind of twists and turns. You're seeing something so beautiful, but also with almost just some hints of violence to it almost, in the way that it seems to twist and contort round, and the difference in the noting of the different parts of the potential like form. It's beautiful to behold.
That's such a good observation, that that kind of dark side. There's definitely this viscerality to it. And it's confronting, but it's confronting in a really engaging, beautiful way.
Absolutely agree, and just seeing the way that it's being made as well, such beautiful fluidity to create this form is kind of the only way I can describe it. It's just gobsmacking to me. Like honestly, I adore this piece.
And Zhenya's level of concentration as well. She's very, very engaged with the piece. Okay, back with Reeves, and we have a lot of spray paint that has gone down on the canvas, which is such a cool technique to see in person, because often that's not something that we see at Art Battle, and there's a lot of careful control here.
Oh yeah, especially with such a small canvas using spray paint, you have to have so much control to do large murals, let alone something of this scale. So to see this happen is truly astonishing.
Oh, and he's using a piece of card to get these sharp lines. That's cool.
Honestly, just an amazing display of technique here, and also the colors, the formings of what seems to be this feline figure, or but almost something alien about the figure as well. Like it's such bright popping of colors that I'm really drawn to this piece.
Oh, for sure. And all of these different areas of movement, too. We've got this kind of. There are lines going in different diagonals. So I think that this piece has a lot of great, what we call eye bounce, with the eye kind of leading itself around the canvas based on all of these directional lines.
Just the more that I'm watching the spray paint being put down and helping that form, the more that I'm just so incredibly impressed.
So I'm still still trying to figure out exactly what this piece is, or exactly what the tool is here. I see a little light on it, so I definitely know that it's electronic in some way, but this piece just keeps evolving in such a sculptural way.
It really is capturing sort of those almost those grand figures that you see in Roman Colosseums, those beautiful like timeless statues, but being presented on a canvas, especially with such the scratching that's being taken place to create this really stoic looking form, is so incredible to watch.
4, 3, 2, 1, brushes down!
Oh my gosh. That was wild. The quality that these guys have achieved in 20 minutes is just, it's mind-blowing, and so many different techniques as well.
So many different pieces being presented, and the fact this was achieved in such a short space of time is mind-blowing. What we have witnessed is truly incredible artists at the height of their work. I am so impressed with every single artist we've seen.
Just completely mind-blowing. Art Battle London blowing it out of the water.
I absolutely agree. The works, the difference in form, just seeing these amazing artists now like going through explaining their work, this is truly an incredible event.
Any favorites from this round?
Oh, see, this is so incredibly tough for me because, I mean, how do you pick a favorite out of all of these works, especially when all of them are bringing such unique, amazing things? Well, what would say would be some of your favorite works from this?
I loved that the face emerging from the darkness with what we think our theory is the tattoo gun. I'm also loving this portrait of the queen. I think it's just the execution level here is fantastic. But only 2 artists are going to move forward from this round and from our next qualifying round into the 3rd and final showdown. And our audience needs to help us choose these artists. At artbattle.com/AB2407, you will vote for your favorite, and hopefully they will move on.
It's an incredibly tough decision, but hopefully, people will get behind their favorites, and we'll be seeing 2 amazing artists doing 2 more works again. So, yeah, people need to absolutely get voting.
And before we continue, I just want to take a moment to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Dollar Rowney, for their generosity and support.
Yep, so we wouldn't be able to bring this show to life without the help of Dollar Rowney. Their high-quality canvas, paints, and easels have allowed our talented artists to create stunning pieces in real time right before your very eyes.
Dollar Rowney has been a long-standing partner of Art Battle, and we're so grateful to the commitment to the arts and the artists that bring them to life.
And let's not forget, the materials provided by Dollar Rowney are not only used in the Art Battle, but also by artists all around the world. They're a true champion of creativity and inspiration.
So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, Dollar Rowney, for your support and for helping us bring this incredible show to life.
Here's to many more art battles and many more beautiful pieces of art being created with the help of Dollar Rowney.
All right, I gotta go choose who I'm gonna vote for. This is so hard.
I was going to say, I don't know how to pick between all of those pieces.
And if you guys are out there in the stream and you want to share whose works you thought were awesome or who you're voting for, we would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Max and I are going to take a short break between rounds, and our artists for round number 2 are just going to get their easels and palettes ready, and we will be back for round number 2.
But she's meant to be painting a piece throughout the night, so she's going to start her piece at the easel at the far end, which is also going to be available for auction if you wanted it, but she will paint throughout the night in great graphic and maybe explicit detail. So I will invite her to get ready, come peruse her work at your leisure, and now I will announce the artist for round 2. She didn't know I was going to do that. She hates me for that. All right, round 2. Are we ready? So, without further ado, on easel number 1, we have Addie Aspid. I'm sorry I'm an annoying announcer, but Addie is an amazing fashion illustrator and designer. Her work is sublime. I am curious to see whether we will see a portrait or a long-legged creature today. Give it up for Addie Aspid. On easel number 2, we have Art Battle veteran and former champion of a different city. You can ask him later which one. Chenan Lin! Chenan is a fantastic portrait artist, and he has a very unique technique, and it can translate really well in 20 minutes, so let's see what he will do today and what portrait we will see, if a portrait at all. Give it up for Chenan Lin! On easel number 3, we have Douglas Finlay! Has traveled all the way from Glasgow to be here tonight, especially, and he needs all of your cheers and support. Give up for Douglas Finlay. On easel number 4, we have another doodler. Doodler and fashion brand owner with a very distinctive and playful style. We have Travis! On easel number 5, we have tattoo artist and somebody for whom Art Battle is a challenge. And I always like when people say that because that means that they will really have a thrilling experience here. Izzy Ruffle! approach to their work. So, Will, I don't know you, sir, so give it up for Will! Did we like the countdown last time?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, let's do this again.
Do
Ready?
you want me to just stay here?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's paint!
All right, welcome back to Art Battle in London. We are here for round number 2, and these guys, this round is packed with amazing artists as well. It's hard to think of topping round number 1, though, right?
Well, if anyone can, it's going to be these artists we've got on the screen. The last round was just mind-blowing, but I'm sure we're going to have some more amazing works.
Oh, for sure. My name is Morgan Booth, and I am here with Max Oral, well-known TikToker, voiceover artist, and goth fashion aficionado. Hey, Max. Are you having fun so far?
I'm having an incredible time watching these pieces of art come to life, and just the sheer amount of skill in 20 minutes to get all of these done is just blowing me away. So I can't wait to see what this current batch of artists can come up with.
Oh, absolutely. Last round was completely wild. And just a reminder to anyone who's joining us on the stream right now, these artists only have 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to finished piece. And you, the audience, will vote. And you'll vote on your favorite artists at the link that is on the screen right now, artbattle.com/AB2407. Also, very fun, all of the pieces created tonight are also available for silent auction, so you don't need to be in the room to collect them. Okay, who are we checking out right now? We've got Douglas Finley, who I think is maybe throwing down some metallic gold on the canvas right now. That's just my first impression here.
Yeah, definitely laying down a good solid foundation, which potentially could be working on with some pencil, could be some more paint, we don't know, but really intriguing stuff so far.
And Douglas is really well known for creating these super immersive landscapes that are just with movement, so I can't wait to see where that goes.
Oh, absolutely. You can just tell by the way that he's already laying down the foundations, the smooth movements, that we're going to have something really incredible to look at.
And here we are with Travis Coleman, and Travis also styles himself as a doodle artist, and looks like we've got some typography going down right now.
So obviously getting some good stuff built in the center, then maybe we could see something similar to the last round with just things and stuff being built around it, characters potentially. So good solid base in the middle. I love the boldness of create, and then let's see what he ends up creating.
And typography can be a really tough thing to do in the live setting because, you know, when it's off, people really get that. They understand, because we're so used to seeing really clean type. And so that could potentially present a challenge, but it looks like Travis has got his very own kind of font style going. So looking forward to that.
Absolutely. I'm sure that he's amassed just such a unique style in terms of typography that he must be used to be able to do this, especially to be able to do it in such a short space of time. So I'm sure we're going to get some amazing work.
An interesting first start here for Izzy Ruffle. We've got almost like a cloudy kind of appearance going on. And I think that Izzy is right now just establishing a background, but lots of good texture going on here.
Yeah, really great establishing of a mood. It's something that's very dark and brooding, almost storm-like in its presentation. So cannot wait to see how this piece starts to grow.
And here we are with our wild card artist. For those just joining us on the stream, a wild card is an artist who is chosen from the crowd, who was not a pre-selected artist. So Will here is stepping up to the easel and was only told just a few minutes ago that he was going to be painting in this battle.
Seems to be laying down a really interesting foundation, very long, sharp, fluid strokes being put down, so cannot wait to see what this wild card can potentially produce.
And sometimes we will get wildcard artists who are not necessarily artists who have a studio practice, but I would say that Will does. Like, he's definitely throwing down paint very confidently. It looks like we're starting with this abstract composition with lots of different kind of striations of color going, so can't wait for that. Okay, Addie Aspid.
Very nice. You can just see the forming of what appears to be just a blank figure and face with a good background being set, but could potentially, from initially, maybe be hair or even the laying of a background, but really intriguing stuff and a very good, quick start.
And this is an artist that, Max, I think that you'll really enjoy. Addie is a fashion designer and an illustrator as well. She often is blending fashion illustration with lots of surreal dark themes as well.
Oh, and you know me, that is absolutely that is my perfect thing. Like, I love anything that mixes influence of fashion and things that are singing a bit dark, so this is definitely what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I definitely think I might as well have to put a bid on this one.
Oh, check out the beautiful way that Addie is expressing the jawline too. We have the figure's face. We don't have the drawing of the face yet, but we have the shape, and that chin is just slightly tilted upward. I feel like that's just such a great line.
Yeah, just amazing stuff being put down early doors, and I cannot wait to see like how everything forms around such a strong start.
And here we are with Chen An Lin, and Chen An has actually painted and won in Art Battle San Francisco and painted in the Art Battle San Francisco City Finals as well. So we got a bit of a celeb here.
I mean, you can just tell with the confidence, the way that he's going to work on his canvas, that he's definitely someone of a very high caliber of artist. So he won't be feeling the pressure in this sort of environment, but already we can see such a beautiful canvas just starting to shape. I love the sharp contrast already being established with the colors and the way that it's being just placed upon the canvas.
Yeah, we have all of these stronger strokes that have more saturation of paint being juxtaposed with more washy colors. And I feel like that's just going to create a lot of textural interest in this piece.
Fully agree. Like, ooh, we're now coming on to seeing what I think is a heart being established, but the way that it's being enclosed with these beautiful just strides of thick paint being layered to build upon this. This is really intriguing stuff.
And so much good movement. And it reminds me of the expression like to hold space for someone. You know, you just got that heart kind of surrounded by all of this positive energy.
There's already so much motion coming into this particular canvas that you can just see the way that it's moving with every single stroke and line, that the piece itself has got a beautiful motion about it.
And Douglas has these gorgeous long strokes with that palette knife as well. Okay, back to Travis, and you were totally right. We're definitely getting more illustrations coming out of the center of the canvas and expanding into the composition.
Such great detail being established yet again in such a short space of time, to be able to get the typography just absolutely spot on, but then to get the level of detail with a marker as well. Like, there's very little margin for error with something like that. So to be able to do this so quickly and establish these characters is really just astonishing to behold.
Oh, that's such a great point. The having to be so intentional with the line work, because a lot of the artists that are working with paint, if they mess it up or if they smudge something, they can just paint over it. There's really not a lot of room for forgiveness when you're working with just the white canvas and this black marker here.
But you can see with every single stroke that he's making with that marker pen, there is such intention and such concentration behind it, that it's really just showing how much of so much craft he's probably developed over a long period of time.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so this is just getting stormier and stormier by the minute, and I'm loving it. Look how textural this, I think it's water at the bottom, but check out the texture there.
Oh, absolutely beautiful texture, especially from the bottom rising up the canvas, and just the little flashes of what seems to be light or some bright yellow just cutting through that storm, really juxtaposing the really dark and brooding stormy atmosphere that's being presented. So really intriguing stuff.
And I feel like everything is very diffused in the sky here, which is leading to this very atmospheric quality. And as Izzy is working into that or that yellow component, I'm really looking forward to having that kind of mystery revealed in our next half of the battle.
Oh wow, so really interesting thing coming on the wildcard canvas here. Just this beautiful sunburst being produced, this almost flash or explosion of what looks to be like the beautiful reds and yellows of light. So really interesting stuff coming on this canvas.
Yeah, Will has done a really good job at using the brightness of the canvas underneath to express this level of light, because we've got this very light application of this yellow and then moving outward into these darker colors, and it's just communicating that light. You're so right.
Should be really interesting to see whether it's going to be just the focus upon this like beautiful, almost explosion-esque thing of light, or whether anything else is going to be placed on this canvas by the wildcard.
Okay, check out Addie. Look at those cheekbones. Ah,
Just the way that the eyes are communicating so much personality, and the way that the jaw is just so strong. All the features are strong, and yet there is this almost like a subtle softness within the expression of the face, which is really beautiful to see being formed, especially with the contrast of the paleness of the figure surrounded by what actually you can see some tiny strokes, which I think is being used to define the hair amidst the black background, which is really interesting.
yeah, I love those subtle variations. This piece is really striking because we have such a high level of contrast in the black and white, but then we also have subtlety in the textures and the juxtaposition of the paint versus the marker qualities.
Honestly, just I absolutely adore the work that is being produced, and really interesting to see now. I'm starting to get more of a form of this next canvas, like really fine details being placed to really sort of just bring some attention to the other bits of the canvas, but also I think that potentially the light of the canvas, the blank background, is really being used to the advantage now by the artist.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a warmth that's coming through as well, I think. And this piece is very evocative of like traditional brushwork. And the way that Chen En is really building this piece and working into different elements, there's a lot of harmony coming together at this point.
That's such an amazing point. There seems to be such great balance within that piece, and there's such a beautiful harmony between everything that's currently being displayed there. So really, really amazing stuff.
And back with our very heartfelt piece from Douglas, who actually traveled to meet us at Art Battle today from Glasgow.
Amazing stuff, especially just, coming from such a long way away all the way to London to showcase their skills. Is just amazing that we get to share this and to share that art with just such beautiful motion. Like, I've really not seen such an interesting technique being used with the paints, the way that it's been built with such motion.
And I think almost entirely executed with palette knife as well. Although actually, as I'm saying that, of course, he's working with a brush, haha. But yeah, just gorgeous movement. And the way that all of the colors are just, they're blending into each other, but still retaining individual quality is very painterly.
Oh, we're seeing some more development on the typography now, with almost the dripping coming off of it as if it's been laid with something like spray paint, but obviously all of this is now being done entirely with marker pen, and every single like line and character and swirl is just executed so spot on. Honestly, this is a really, really just intricate canvas we're watching being produced.
And just the intuitive quality as well of where he's placing all of these characters and how they're interacting with each other. Like, there's so many decisions being made here, and they're all working together really well.
Like, it almost just seems like the artist, it's just second nature placing these characters to kind of interact with each other. There's such almost like a real life cartoon in terms of the way that it seems to just meld with one another. It's so interesting to see this being executed.
Okay, what is happening in our stormy landscape with Izzy? I feel like we've got a creature emerging from the water now, maybe?
Yeah, potentially. I'm a massive fan of that because it's giving almost something of myth and legend. I mean, it's like the artist is really painting like a fable onto their canvas.
And she's done such a great job establishing the energy of this piece by using all of these dark colors and all of these, the kind of rubbed out atmosphere in the sky. It's very ominous.
It's ominous, stormy, slightly scary, but with a just an odd beauty towards the chaos of the storm. So really amazing to see.
And so fun to see them actually beside each other. Izzy's piece that is so dark and ominous, and then Will's piece that's just kind of radiating with light energy.
I was going to say that there's such great energy that he seems to be creating with his canvas. Like, I can feel almost the movement of what I assume it's giving me some form of just burst or explosion or some big creation. And to get that level of energy must be incredibly difficult, especially with the time constraints.
Half of me is expecting like a Balrog to rise from this fiery canyon.
Just this, yet again, almost kind of evoking something of myth and legend, that the only way that this sort of like image that it's evoking could be created with something of mythology or darkness or something quite ominous. It's really, really just amazing to see.
Yeah, it's so intriguing to see the way that artists can really translate. Like, that's an abstract piece that we're just getting so many different elements out of. And coming back to Addie here, loving that pop of red.
I was honestly, you took the words out of my mouth. The pop of red really just bringing so much life into this, but also having the typography now being placed above the black canvas. Honestly, there is so much like influence from high art, like in terms of fashion, being produced on this canvas. Like, I'm just in awe at this piece.
What does it say? We've got self-love is the best middle.
It's the best middle finger.
That's
Amazing stuff.
awesome. Yes, that's so empowering. I love this piece even more now because not only does it have that like contemplative, stylish, like all these good things going on, now it's very cheeky as well.
Yeah, and it's playing with that cheekiness, with that level of style. It's just exuding confidence in terms of this really amazing, stunning figure that we're seeing produced.
Check out Chen An, the patience as he's creating. You can tell that he's an experienced art battle artist because he's just looking so focused, but also very relaxed. Just really honing in on the details in the last 2 minutes of our round here.
Definitely a very, very experienced artist, and you can just see that with every little stroke. There is such a beautiful concentration, but like you said, a calmness. And that's translating onto their work as well. Like, what we're seeing seems really just beautifully calm and quite serene and very reflective of the artist's mood at the moment.
Back with Douglas, and we have a lot of typography going on in this round. We'll have to see if we can check out what Douglas has written within the heart here.
Yeah, well, we can get a clearer picture. It'd be really intriguing to see what is placed in the middle of the heart, because whatever that message in the typography will be, I feel will be very symbolic, especially being placed dead center within the heart of the piece.
Yeah, just creating that focal point, that focal energy. And looks like quite a few of our artists are actually using these gorgeous Posca pens, which I think were also supplied by Dollar Rowney.
Absolutely. I mean, all of the artists are really working with their tools so incredibly well, and that's just showing not only the quality of the artist, but the quality of what everyone is using.
Oh, I love this piece. It's so fun. And even in all of the kind of spaces that he doesn't have a character, he's added this pattern in, so there's really no gap, and your eye just is like vibrating with all of the exciting characters here.
honestly, just using the full canvas so well with such detail and such an explosion of expression. Like, honestly, this piece is just so effortlessly stylish, but also just cool. It's exuding such an amazingly quiet confidence.
That's such a great point. The cool factor is so there. It's so present. Okay, the evolution of Izzy's seascape continues. And now we can actually see where some of this texture has been coming from. We have a roller that's being applied to the canvas right now.
Yeah, some amazing techniques really being applied to the sides of the canvas to really just sort of hone in that energy to right to the center of the canvas.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brushes down. Applause, everybody. If everyone could step back a little bit, you'll be able to see and film all the pieces at the back where it's very well lit, and you'll be able to see and help decide who you can vote for if you haven't already. Please let the cleanup crew do their thing. People, artists, if you could put your brushes in your pots upside down to help clean up and take all your paints away, thank you so much. Voting matters. Really, really help us get that top 4, and we'll see you in a couple, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Thank you so much.
A very exciting second round of Art Battle in London. Just wow. The artists today are bringing it.
Honestly, it's such a tall task to even match the level that was established in the first round, but everyone that's created piece in the second round has absolutely done that. Some absolutely stunning pieces being created here.
And it's going to be so hard for the audience, for everyone in the room, for everyone that's watching us on the stream to vote for their favorite artist. I know that I'm having a hard time choosing. But you got to do it. You got to go to artbattle.com/AB2407 to vote for your favorite artist. The top 2 artists from our first qualifying round and from this round will be moving forward into a 4-artist final showdown where they will paint again. So as you are looking at all of the pieces to vote for, think not only about which piece visually do you think is the best, but also which artist did you enjoy performing the most. Just wonderful. So happy with all of the artists who have created with us so far. 12 incredible pieces, and it takes so much creativity and courage to come up to the easel and to do something like that in front of a crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. To be able to showcase your skills and to have just a crowd of people be very intimate with you, to see you creating your work, and to be able to create in such an environment and share that with people is honestly just astonishing.
And for anyone on the stream who is watching and their mirror neurons are going crazy and they would like to step up to the Art Battle easel as well, you can go to artbattle.com/register and apply to paint. We will be back for our final round artist announcement in just a few minutes. The votes are rolling in, and we often hear from our voting manager, Gina, that the votes can be really close. So even just a single vote makes such a huge difference. So make sure that you support your favorite artist at the link that is on the screen right now, artbattle.com/AB2407. Max and I will be back in just a few minutes with our winner announcements of who will be moving on to the final round, and then we'll get even more paint on the canvas in just a few minutes.
We have Luke Edgar. On easel number 2, we have Frankie Curtis. On easel number 3, Izzy Ruffle. On easel number 4, Chan An Len. And I didn't say any of these in any particular order. When I say 1, 2, and 3, it doesn't mean they came in that order. This is just the way we've numbered the easels to confuse you all. And on easel number 5, can we have a stomp roll? Yeah? Travis. Amazing, we've got the 2 doodlers in the final 5. How exciting is that? All right, I will ask my colleagues to set up a fifth easel and number then, and if the top 5 can start preparing their paints and plans, that would be great.
Our winners for the final round have just been announced, and moving forward from round number 1, we have Luke Edgar and Frankie Curtis. And moving forward from round number 2, our audience couldn't decide, and we're actually moving forward 3 artists. That's right, we had a tie. Moving forward is Izzy Ruffle, Chen Anlin, and Travis Coleman. So these 5 artists will be in the final round starting in just a few minutes. So stay tuned.
My friend Tyler here, who has his back. So everyone on this side of the room, can you give the loudest cheer possible? Okay, that's pathetic. Let's do this better. Can you beat them? Ready? Go! Let's give you one more try. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Okay. So now we're ready, and the warm-up has been done. On easel number 1, we have Luke Edgar. On easel number 2, we have Frankie Curtis. On easel number 3, we have Izzy Ruffle. On easel number 4, we have Chen Anlin. And on easel number 5, we have Travis. Are we ready for the countdown? Okay. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rush is up!
Welcome back, everyone, to our third and final round of Art Battle in London. We have a super special final happening, actually, because we have not our usual 4 finalists. The crowd couldn't decide. We had a tie. We have 5 epic artists joining in the final.
Honestly, we are being spoiled rotten, but also I do not blame the crowd. I mean, how do you decide between all these amazing artists?
Oh man, I know that that I've been having a hard time choosing as well, but very, very grateful to be able to see these guys work again. One of my favorite things I think about Art Battle is that we get to see these artists work once and then seeing the best of the best move on to the final and getting to see how they treat a second artwork, how they perform, how it compares to their first piece. It's thrilling.
Honestly, I fully agree. It's so exciting to see these amazing artists come up again. But like you said, the development, how their pieces differ. Honestly, I just cannot wait to see how this round fully plays out.
So right now with the tape on the canvas, I think we're looking at Chen Anlin. So that's a different take from what we first saw in Chen's initial qualifying round. He hadn't used any tape, so already we have a little bit of variance in technique.
But still, absolutely calm as anything. You can see the intricate brush strokes really coming back to work for him. And yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else of such a well-vetted artist.
And Travis, back at it again with the typography, taking a very similar approach to his qualifying round piece of doing that central word.
Yeah, but also having the fact the words now, instead of being create, it's destroy. And so I'm now just excited to see whether we're going to see some chaos thrown into this, whether we're going to see some slight variation in terms of the characters that potentially might be put onto the canvas. And the fact that it's just completely the opposite to create. He's created in the first round and now he's destroying. So very, very exciting stuff.
That's epic. And I didn't even catch it right away that it was that opposite. And I love that Travis is taking the opportunity to kind of create a narrative for us within these 2 pieces.
Absolutely. You can see he's just bringing us on this journey and starting out with the same base, but definitely seeming like a different inspiration to the first canvas, and the fact that it almost fits in like it's an actual story we are seeing unfold in front of us. So incredibly exciting stuff in this final round already.
And so careful the way that he's filling in these lines. And we can even see just in the way that he's blocking everything in that there's some intentional wobbliness going on there. He's not trying to make it perfect. And in doing that, you're kind of getting that sense of his style. Jerry Saltz, one of an artist critic that I like, said earlier this week, I think it was, artists, why are you afraid of your mistakes? That's your style.
Oh, absolutely. I see everyone has such a thorough uniqueness when they don't strive for perfection, especially like in my line of work when it's anything to do with like the voice. You find that some of the best qualities come from when you're not trying to pursue something perfect. And we're absolutely seeing that being put onto the canvas right now.
And that's one of the great things about Art Battle too, is within 20 minutes, you don't have time for perfection. You don't have time for what I like to call studio nerves, when you get too in your head trying to make something absolutely perfect.
Absolutely. So like it's when the unconscious mind just fully comes in and goes, look, it's relying on your skill sets, it's relying on you as the artist to create and do what you do best. And we are seeing everybody tonight bringing their absolute A game.
Oh man, look at Luke again with this crazy tool. This is so cool.
I need to find out what exactly this implement is. I think you could be right, because it does seem like it's some form of like tattoo gun, or even maybe modified so that it could be a pen or pencil or some form of like implement that is being used in a similar style to a tattoo gun to kind of give off this dotted line effect.
Yeah, that's my best guess, I would say, is that the tattoo gun or some sort of modified pointillist gun. I've seen those before, but just the thought to bring such an unconventional tool into the arena, and the bravery that it takes to go this route, I'm blown away.
Honestly, I'm blown away as well. To be so comfortable with such an implement, this must have taken years of hard craft. You can absolutely see that it's like an extension of his hand. Like, it just seems so natural to the artist using this implement, and already we're starting to see a figure of sorts coming to life right in front of our eyes with this amazing tool. So I am just in awe at this artist and just the sheer level of skill that is being displayed in front of us.
And the way that this tool is not necessarily putting down paint, it's taking away. So he's carving into the wet paint that he's put onto the easel. Has elements of sculpture to it. It has elements of printmaking to it. It has elements of painting. I love it.
Oh, some amazing color initially, which I didn't think we got to see from this artist in the first round, but the pop of red immediately catching my eye, and just a slight dash of typography as well. So really exciting to see where this goes.
And I love the stylized quality in all of these lines. They're exaggerated in just the right way, and it's such a playful way of drawing. It's and even just with the subject matter, we have that little element of humor as well. And I always appreciate just adding some whimsy into Art Battle.
Oh, absolutely. Like, the sense of, like, fun you're really getting with this piece of work. Like, especially, like, even, like, the typography, the way that they are writing out I believe it says Bakar, which I was this close to doing an actual chicken breast, but I just about withheld it.
Well, you are a voice actor.
You know what? Okay, so I will give it. It's giving us very, you know.
Perfect. We're having so much fun watching this piece being created. I can only imagine how engaged the audience is as well, because whenever we see humor coming into play in Art Battle, it really is a point of connection for the audience.
Yeah, when the artist is having fun, then the audience is having fun.
Exactly.
Really intriguing, like this very bird-like figure being presented on the canvas, which is such like a stark contrast to like the dark, foreboding sea creature. We're seeing something a little bit more like elegant in its nature in terms of like what potentially what it could be, but still with a lovely broodiness to it.
Oh, absolutely. We have that same kind of atmospheric establishment of the sky behind, but in this lighter palette. And then the way that she's executing the bird, there's these gorgeous flowing lines, but at the same time, it's still loose.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's so interesting to see such like similar lines. Like, I have only seen very limited bits of the work before seeing this art battle, but even from their first rounds, we're seeing a continuation of their style, but so many interesting variations to their first pieces, and it's still so early in this final round that like I'm just so intrigued and enthralled to see how these all develop.
Oh, wow. Look at
Whoa.
this flowing movement happening from Chen An. We just caught his elbow as the tape pull.
Wow.
The tape
This
pull, I love it.
but also this very strong, very almost like angered figure. We're seeing the presentation of like long flowing hair and a very distinctive like eye pattern, but then having the strike of the tape just being ripped off in front of us. Honestly, such a beautiful show of like energy.
Yeah, Chen An did not come to play. He came to win. This is some really just excellent execution, but also some stylized performance. He's playing to the crowd a little bit, I think, with that epic tape pull.
Yeah, honestly, his experience is shining through in this final round. Like, there's a reason why he's done so well in previous art battle competitions. You can see that he's absolutely at home and just, oh, look at what appears to be some form of like scripture almost being written on the white ripped off tape background. Honestly, this is shaping up to be an amazing piece.
And we're getting that element of color too.
Honestly, just so amazing. Also, so vastly different from the first piece of work we saw from this artist, and just had the contrast in showing like such similar discipline, but such different atmospheres, especially in this piece.
I appreciate this technique. I appreciate the style. I'm fangirling for Chen An right here. And this piece has already just come together so much. And just a reminder, everyone, this is like a 10-minute piece right now.
Which, the fact that these artists are able to do this in this amount of time is just showing how utterly awesome every single one of these artists are. Like, within their own style, they are absolutely at the top of their game.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see how he fills in that division spot where the hair is disrupted.
It's going to be so interesting just to see how their growth already showing such a promising piece. I'm honestly so interested. Yes, okay. Oh, I am vibing with this so much already.
It's so good. Look at the paint roller that the character's holding.
Yeah, just yet again, like I had a feeling there was going to be some more elements of like chaos with the explosion coming from the background of the typography, the paint roller, but like still such amazing signature style being displayed. And yet again, just the margin of error being so little with so little time, and yet everything is so absolutely spot on.
And Max, you and I were talking about this a little bit, just the cool factor that Travis's work has. It's that it obviously takes effort to be able to create in this way, but it's just coming off as like very relaxed, cool, like this is my style, and he's just working it.
Effortlessly ice cold. Like, you know, when you see an artist commanding a stage and they just walk on and they are the only person in the room that you want to look at, it's giving me that. It's effortlessly cool. It just speaks about that influence of like art that just is ice cold on its own. So very, very awesome to see that being presented.
And Travis actually has a clothing line as well. For anyone who wants to check out any of the artists who have painted here tonight, we have all of their Instagram profiles linked from the Art Battle London Instagram. So go give those guys a follow after you're finished hanging out with us on the stream.
Wow, such a different perspective of the face that's being shown compared to the first piece of work. But the fact that it seems to be fading out with the side of the canvas, like it's being dragged like a motion blur almost.
It's wild. I have my hands on my head right now. Just like, whoa, completely blown away. There are just so many wonderful elements in this piece. The subtle variance of shading that Luke is able to achieve with this tool, and just he has such a light hand and knows exactly how to use this.
Just a tremendous amount of skill, but also just the singular drip that seems to just cut off just right at the front of the face, almost kind of just giving it that little cutting line through the middle, and that's just like it's dripped upon the canvas. Like, so to be able to do that must require just such concentration.
You're so right. It's that line is providing us with this small moment of tension and giving us that emphasis of organic.
Just amazing work. Just yet again, like there's such an almost like a beautiful hauntingness about that.
So much fun here with Frankie.
Yeah, there's so much fun being displayed, but also I love the contrast, like compared to the first round. We're seeing their amazing iconic shapes, but this time drawn in white. And I believe the chicken is now getting what looks to be, in the artist style, red tattoos.
That's so fun.
That is dope.
It's fun and it's smart. Like, it's giving us this cartoon element, but then adding this contemporary edge into it that makes it just a little bit more challenging, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, just the three colors as well being used so just smartly, with the black, the white, and then the reds, like of the tattoos in one of the eyeballs, accenting it with the white in the background. It's using just those three, and yet it speaks so much.
Just wild. And I really like the frame within a frame that she's done there as well, by bringing that black almost to the edge of the canvas, but not quite, and kind of rounding it off a little bit. Okay, back with Izzy and our bird.
Just honestly, yet again, there's such a lovely contrast, like all the other artists, but like from the first one to the second, just the level of like detail being surrounded by such light, whereas the last was just surrounded by such dark and only a brief breaking through of light. So really interesting to see this being formed.
I think my favorite part of that piece is when we look at the background, we can see areas that are lighter, and it's just been executed with this washing technique of watering down the paint and rubbing it onto the canvas, but through doing it that way, she's created these voids that are now reading as clouds.
It's just such smart technique, especially not only from like an artistic standpoint, but also bearing in mind the time constraints. It's showing us exactly what the artist wants to show us, but also it's using that know-how and that logic to save themselves some time to then focus on the rest of the painting.
Oh, totally. Great point. And also, there's the added difficulty of when you're working on top of a canvas like that has those wet background elements. Working wet on wet is quite the challenge to get your paint to stick on top of that.
Wow. Just such a brooding anger in this figure, but the flowingness and just the level of execution with that red stripe just dragged in the middle of the face. Such a brooding character. There's such pain within this and anger, but yet it's so beautiful to behold, and there's such delicate techniques to achieve this.
Yeah, the expression here is so contained in this brow bone, and the highlight of the brow bone, and then the shape of the eye socket underneath. There's just such a wonderful element of contrast, and just breaking down and compartmentalizing these shadows has made for a very impactful expression of the face.
Just wiping down segments of the hair as well to really give it that great texture with such long flowing hair that it, like, honestly, it's just adding so much to it. Just incredible technique. Like, yet again, can absolutely see why he's done so incredibly well in past art battles.
Oh man, we are at the 2-minute remaining mark, and I could keep watching these guys go. But they're so close to being finished, and Oh man, what a round.
Just honestly, you couldn't ask for better people to be in this final round, and just yet again the destroy. Not a single part of that canvas has been left. It's all being used. There's such more of a destructive element, but a playful destructiveness compared to the first piece of work. Just so awesome to see.
And such a fun pro tip watching Travis execute this piece. As he's moving the marker around the canvas, he is putting a piece of paper underneath his hand so that he can rest it on the canvas without smearing it. That's so freaking smart.
Just great technique, amazing execution, and I'm just still in awe that it's able to be achieved in such a short space of time. Like, honestly, just what amazing technique.
And Luke has just done such a wonderful job of time management here. This piece has room to breathe. It's not overpainted. I think especially with a tool like this, it would be easy to overuse it. But he's been so careful with maintaining all of these subtleties.
Yeah, there's so many different layers to this, but also just like everything is so flowing within itself. And I don't know whether it's intentional, but on the top left of the canvas, it almost looks like letters, the drip marks forming what looks to be like an M, an I, and an M, and capital A, and a capital I. If that's an accident, that's beautiful, but also if that's intention, then I have no idea how you even begin to think of executing that on a canvas in that time. That is unreal.
Yeah, the way that organic elements can lend themselves is just it's just mind-blowing.
Just I would love to pick this artist's brains, just how they use such a tool as this.
I know, I'm almost holding my breath as I'm watching him do it because I'm just so entranced with this new modality of creating. Now the tattoo element has gone into the top of our wonderful rooster chicken here, and there's so many lines here happening in Frankie's piece, and each one of them is so carefully executed, and I bet that there's some narrative elements within that as well.
Oh, there has to be. And like you stated before, it's a canvas within a canvas, almost within a canvas.
2, 1, brushes down. Oh my god, well done. Can we have a big round of applause for all of our final 5? Okay. Please vote. Your vote can make all the difference. We are very much deciding between 5 amazing and very diverse artists. We will ask the change-up crew to please bring the easels to the front. Artists, please put your brushes down into the pots and put your paint palette things in the bin or clean them. That would be great. Thank you so much. We will be back to you shortly with the results.
Just crazy. Just so amazing. That round was mind-blowing.
Everyone at the top of their game. I mean, how do you pick a winner amongst all of those?
Oh man, it is going to be difficult. It is totally going to be difficult to determine who's going to take the win tonight. But we got to do it. We got to vote for our favorite artists at artbattle.com/AB2407. And once again, if you are out there in the stream, we would love to hear from you about which artists you thought that were particularly awesome today. And I know that we've had a couple of favorites. I think that I have not hidden it well that Luke Edgar was a really epic performance for me tonight with that tattoo gun.
Yep, I would fully have to agree. I mean, just I've never personally seen like the way that came together. It's so thoroughly unique to the artist, and so like definitely just an impressive performance.
Yeah, completely mind-blowing. And to even just like Art Battle brings so many different elements, and there's such a huge opportunity to see all of these different techniques. And so when we encounter one that we never have before, it's something that's really exciting.
All of the artists just like such different styles and such different like execution of skills that it's just amazing to be able to see all of this live.
Oh, totally. The breadth of styles, the different energies and themes that were presented in the works tonight, just completely epic. Big shout out to our team in London on the ground for booking all of these excellent artists, and to our artists themselves for applying for the show. And if you're an artist that is out there watching with us, you can apply to paint as well at artbattle.com/register. And yeah, it's just an epic show. This event has been really fantastic.
It's been such a stunning thing to witness. Just being a part of this, I could not even begin to imagine how this must be such an amazing opportunity, not only for the audience, but for the artists themselves to just show such amazing creative pieces of work.
Fantastic. The votes are rolling in. And once again, it is really tight. So if you are watching, make sure that you visit the link on your screen and cast your vote, because only one artist will be crowned the winner of tonight's event, and that artist will move forward into the regional competition for the London City Finals and onward and upward within the competition, potentially making it into the World Championships.
So many of these artists deserving to do so. I wouldn't personally want to decide between all of them, but somebody has to win, so people need to get behind their favorites and show them some love.
I know that I'm definitely going to have a difficult time choosing, and I've got a little bit of an itchy trigger finger on the auction today. The auction is doing really well, and if anyone wants to collect these works, you can have a chance at that by participating at the same link. You do not need to be in the room tonight to collect these works. We will ship them to you. We will be back with the winner announcement as the votes roll in just a few minutes.
First and foremost, can we have you guys for coming tonight? Did you have fun? So the next art battle is on the 29th of April, and and it'll be again here at Signature Brew, Black Horse Road. Can we give it up for the venue? Can we give it up for Taylor Rowney? Can we give it up for Vitamin Aqua? And last but not least, can we give it up for the amazing artists who painted tonight? All of them did a fantastic job and painted in many different styles. This is a worldwide competition. The winner of tonight's art battle will proceed on to the city final, which will be in December 2023, so this year, where the top artists from each event will battle it out. And without further ado, are we ready to hear the winner of the first art battle of 2023? Drum roll. And the winner is Frankie Curtis! Amazing! Speech!
Maybe like a week or less ago that I was even going to be competing, and I come up with this piece on the spot. I can't believe I won. I never really win any of these things, so yeah, I'm just really, really happy. My partner gave me the idea for the chicken, so I'm very glad to sort of go for it, and I'm looking forward to competing in December.
All right. Very soon you will start receiving notifications if you want your bidding more. So if you haven't already bid on the piece that you want, thank you all for coming. This venue is open until midnight in terms of licensing, so let's continue drinking and having fun.
And our winner has been announced. A huge congratulations to Frankie Curtis for taking the win tonight in Art Battle London. What an epic event and a well-deserved win for Frankie.
Yep, honestly, could not agree more. Like, such a solid 2 rounds. Everyone was amazing, but Frankie really did just have such an amazing final round. So thoroughly deserved, but everyone could be so proud of the art they produced tonight.
Wow, wow, wow. So just completely ecstatic with the performance from our artists tonight, and just a really well-run event by our team in London. And thank you so much to you, Max, for co-hosting with me. It's been a joy to have you on the stream tonight. Where can we find you on the internet?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be included in Art Battle and to watch all these artists just do what they do. If you want to find me, then if you go onto TikTok and you type in Max_Oral, that's typed MAXX_ORRELL, then you can find all of my videos and more from myself that usually sound and look very much like this.
Amazing. So pleased to have had you on, and I'm sure that we will have you on the stream again. Our next event is on April 29th, or our next London event is on April 29th, and our next streaming event will be the San Francisco City Finals on the 15th. So just coming up in just a few days. So stay tuned to our social media channels and follow us for more streaming updates. Thank you so much to everyone, and a huge congratulations to our whole team and to all of the artists who painted with us tonight. And thanks again, Max.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the amazing team that's made all this happen. And of course, thank you to yourself. Like, thank you for having me.
And very much, of course, Dollar Rowney, our material sponsor. These paintings can't happen without canvas, right?
Nope, absolutely. All these artists were able to create such amazing works thanks to them. So a big thanks to them as well.
And thanks everyone on the stream for joining us tonight, and we will see you later.